join Mr. Rick right there at the entrance. He gives the best tour, and you're gonna love it. I'll clean it.
You know, play with his little pan. And
Nice.
he had a little medicine bottle with, and he used an eyedropper.
That's what you would
Suck
do.
it up. Suck
Yep,
it
that's
up.
exactly right.
With an eyedropper.
Use an eyedropper there to collect that.
That's a lot.
That's a pretty.
See, it's shining now, see? Huh? See? You can see the gold. Oh, yeah. See, look at, you can see the gold here, right? See? Jom.
There's only veins of quartz with particles of gold in it. So they have to mine the quartz and crush the quartz to get the gold out. That's why we have the rock crushers. So when this is filled with quartz, they have to get 1 ounce of gold minimum out of this ton of quartz. That's their break-even point. If they don't get 1 ounce of gold, they will pass on it in the mine. They will come out with a sample, maybe a couple 100 pounds worth, using single stamp mills. If they get the right ratio, they will then take that pocket of quartz and use the 5-stamp mill to crush all the tons of quartz. And get that ounce of gold. An ounce of gold, by the way, if you compress it into a cube, it would be the size of a sugar cube, a 1/2 inch cube on the edge. So that would be an ounce. And that's all they have to get to break even out of here. Now, in order to get a ton of quartz, they have to dig out 10 tons of this metamorphic seafloor here to get to a ton of quartz to get to that ounce of gold. Now, folks, this is a pretty interesting device. It's called a fix truck. I have that water. Oh, okay. Yeah. Shake it first. You only want to shake it when you're settling it. Remember, you want to settle the gold, and then hold the pan still while you're rinsing.
Hey, Parker on
Keep
Gold
the
Rush
bottom
can find
still.
this gold, so
You don't want to be shaking when you're rinsing.
he's just
Right out.
never do.
Oh, these folks are all waiting to go in?
Yeah, you can take them in.
Yeah, I'll
I got more people coming up. I'll hustle. Guys, raise your hands if you're going in the mine.
There's 3 of us.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. All right.
Are you gonna lead us?
I'm going to take everybody in.
Is this actually a ride or is it a walk?
Is it just a walkthrough or is it
Okay, it's a
ride?
walkthrough, but we do have a set of stairs in there.
Oh, you mind?
Can you lift him? Oh, will he go upstairs?
Oh, lift him?
Yeah.
Well, unless you can climb with ship steps. They're pretty
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, okay, good deal. Hold on, let me get these people. Hi, sir. Are you getting right? So,
Do we have to pay a ticket to go in?
You have to pay at right here to check in at the store here, and then we'll go in.
Okay, I'll be right back.
We'll take everybody in, folks. Okay, everybody check into the store if you haven't checked in, and we're heading to the mine.
We haven't yet.
oh yeah, check in right here.
Gotta try to be right.
Andrew, let's in the water, guys. See, sweetie, what you're doing is you're throwing your gold right out the side. If you don't use your edges, like this and go like this. Okay, that's how it's done. Not shaking. It's like this. It's this kind of motion. Yeah, just keep going before you know he's ready.
Full of quartz rock, and then signal the hoist operator to take it out of the shaft. They bring it out of the shaft, they dump it in the mine cart, and once the mine crusher was originally right here. So as it stopped, school tours here, so they moved the rock crusher away so they could spread it out and have tours here and there at the same time. Dropped an oil lamp or kicked one over, you would have an instant fire. So if you dropped your candle, it'd just go out. So this was the proved safe method of illuminating your way. Now as we go in, folks, I want you to notice the shape of the ceilings. When we go in, you'll see it arch this way. You know at that point they were using hand tools to dig their way in. Picks and shovels, and hammers and chisels. In fact, you can see all the chisel marks on the side of the wall. Once we go in farther, you'll see it open up, be all angled. You know in that case, they were using explosives to make their way in. They made about 5 feet a day using explosives. So you'll see the difference right away, folks. So come on in, here we go. Scouring the mountains looking for the quartz outcroppings, they would have recognized that all the pockets of quartz on the outcroppings here all ran parallel to each other. They all went from a southeast to a northwesterly direction.
Yeah.
So this mine tunnel was engineered specifically to cut across these pockets of quartz at a right angle.
Right.
This is a northeasterly direction, so it basically cuts these in half, right across the middle of them, or through perpendicular anyway. Now, once they find a pocket of quartz they like, they've sampled it, got at least an ounce per ton, ounce of gold per ton. They would, if they like it, this pocket of quartz, they'll follow it in a drift tunnel. And that's what they call it. The pocket will, or the tunnel will drift with the pocket of quartz.
Nice.
So this is a crosscut tunnel. It's the shortest distance to the next pocket of quartz because it's basically perpendicular. So they find this pocket of quartz. This is a crosscut tunnel and a drift tunnel, folks. So, all right, we're going to continue.
லைட் முன்னாடி டார்க் இருக்கு அது மிச்சம்
Thought it looked like a star, so they named this the star vein. Now, it turns out to be a star for another reason, folks. Back 140 feet in the star vein was their richest find. Their mother lode back here, they got up to 10 ounces of gold per ton.
Wow.
So their mother lode was right back here, 140 feet behind us. All right, everybody, so this became their good luck charm. And so every morning when those miners came in, whether or not they were superstitious, they had to rub this for good luck. Get some gold today. All right. So, all right, folks, we are just going to carry on here, right down these. And they connected the tunnels, and then they borrowed the rock mining equipment from the High Peak mine, or from the Eagle mine. So they used the Eagle mine's rock crusher. We're at the transition now of the crosscut tunnel and the drift tunnel. So we're going to be following, making a right turn and following a drift tunnel the rest of the way out.
Cool.
In other words, a tunnel created by the extraction of a pocket of quartz. That would have been the source of power to raise and lower that hoist bucket and bring that 5 levels of tunnels below us, and they each had like a wood. Now at each of the levels they had a bell and a chart, so they could communicate with each other in a fashion similar to Morse code. Now, for instance, if the operator heard 2 bells and 1, he would have known the miners had loaded the bucket with quartz, so he can just full speed it out. Whereas if he heard 3 bells in 1, he knew then the miners were in the bucket, so he's going to bring them up nice and easy. Now, hopefully that operator never heard 7 bells in succession. It would have told him then that they were, as they would have done in the depths below. This pocket of quartz here would have come right down where I'm standing and into the depths. And this shaft that goes down 425 feet, the depth. So everybody, we have just transitioned from that crosscut tunnel. We're in this drift tunnel now. We have a flight of stairs we need to climb. So we're going up to level 5 from level 6. So the numbers of the mine levels are the opposite of a building. They go higher as you go down. So level 11 is on the probably mostly drift tunnels, because they all go that way towards the canyon, so probably that's correct. So the underground foreman, he kept about 15 miners per shift busy and safe. He would have assigned them an area so he knew where they were at all times. Now, the underground foreman also kept track of the number of mine carts that exited, and of course he would never have sent a mine cart down the tracks if there were men on the tracks. So he kept track of his men and the number of mine carts that exited. The underground foreman kept the safety equipment, which included the bandages for any contusions or abrasions, happened occasionally. He also kept the miners' lighting for them. Now the miners had a candle on their hat. And they might have had a spare candle in their pocket with some matches, but basically their candles would not fare well in their pockets. They'd get broken, they'd get crushed, their matches would get damp from sweat. So the underground foreman kept the lighting for the miners in working order. So with that, folks, I would like to do a lighting demonstration. I have 3 candles that would represent the 3 miners drilling those 5 holes. So I'm going to shut off the electric lights for a moment, folks. At the bottom here at the Eagle Mine, we are now right here at the stope here, right in front of the stairs is access to levels 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, yeah?
So, and here in the left-hand corner, upper left, is a depiction of the hill we're in and the 5 pockets of quartz we've encountered. This horizontal line represents the crosscut tunnel we were in, and this blue dot here is you are here, and we're going to be following this pocket of quartz straight on in the drift tunnel.
Did they have a geologist, or was it?
They had geologists and engineers. He gets all 5 holes 4 foot deep with powder. He fills these reeds with that blasting powder, and those become his fuses. He will light these, and they burn at 52 seconds a foot. So now he's got to make 5 fuses long enough to light all 5 fuses and still have time to make his getaway. So that was the challenge for the powder man, folks.
And how many of them did
None of the powder men ever got killed, as far as I know.
Wow.
So they only make one fatal mistake.
Just once.
Yeah. Those big chunks that we saw downstairs, and they would have just tumbled them down this ramp. They would have fallen into a waiting mine cart right here, or they would have just given it a shove, and it would make its way out of the mine.
That's all it takes.
So the rest of that rock, they would not have burdened the entrance here. They drilled a side hole, or dug a side hole out to the side of the mountain, and took all that rock out the side. So if you were climbing on the outside of this hill, you would encounter a flat terrace of broken rock where they dumped all their tailings. All right, everybody, we're going to head down these tracks here, folks. Come on.
That's probably where the light came from.
Once the powderman lights those fuses, he runs down here and jumps in the back of this jump hole and lets the blast go shooting by him here. He's probably turned around and covering his ears, closed his eyes, has a wet bandana on his face. Now he's waiting for the smoke and dust to clear, generally about 20 minutes. But also, he has to be aware that he hears 5 explosions. If he lit 5 fuses, he has to get 5 explosions. If he only gets 4 explosions, then he's got trouble. One of his fuses may have gone out, or maybe it's just sputtering and might kick in at any moment. So the powder man then has a dilemma. He has to wait for another additional half hour until he's convinced that fuse has gone out. Then he has to go into that rubble and find the unburned fuse. Put a new fuse in, light it, and then ditch back in here for that final explosion. And then he can exit. The fresh crew comes in for their 12-hour shift. They would start by mucking that debris from the explosion. So the powder man, He had a hazardous job, and consequently, he made double the miner's pay. He made $5 a day. So pretty good money. Those miners were making $2.50 a day at the same time. So. To remind us that we are in a drift tunnel. You see the remnant, but it's going the same direction as. Shake it down. I'm creating a low point right here.
Okay.
A low point right here. So I'm vibrating the pan to get that gold to settle right here. Now I can rinse.
You know, when I watched Gold Rush last night on the Discovery Channel, they're a lot faster at this than you are.
Well, this is a demonstration. This is just a demonstration. You see my gold coming up there? Now, there's gold starting to appear there. Now, if I keep going, some of it's going to start disappearing right out of the top. So I'm going to shake it down again. It doesn't take that long, but this is a demonstration I'm trying to show. So I'm going to settle it again and rinse. Now, if I start seeing gold, I'm going to shake it down again. Get it settled under the sand and rinse.
So is it easier to see the gold in this kind of weather or the sun's out?
Oh, when the sun's out, but there it is. You start to see it there.
I see it, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but now that with this bridge built over the riffles, that gold is already starting to make its way on that side of it. So I'm going to bring it back and settle it underneath and rinse. Another thing, those guys on that show probably have bigger chunks of gold, so
They do.
so this is it's harder to you know, extract these fine pieces because they do want to. They're slippery. That's why you got to have a little more patience with this fine stuff. Shake it down and rinse.
How do you know you're not getting gold out of it though? How do you-
Well, here it is. I'll show you. It'll be there. It is.
Oh, no.
Wow.
But
Now-
you see, some of it's already here.
Yeah.
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 So I
Now,
want to bring
where
it.
did your
The gold comes
your
from
sand-
Alaska.
Oh, so
The sand comes from Home Depot.
it's, okay. Well, that's where I was driving at.
It's
yeah.
this is a contrived situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Just as a demonstration, we buy lots of gold and put it in here. So I'm going to shake it down again.
Yeah.
Now here's what I want to show you. This is an important part. When you're settling when you're shaking it like this, that gold is settling that direction. So I don't want to shake it in this direction.
Right.
I want to keep it still, and I'll show you why that is. Now if I start shaking, where's my gold going?
It's going to go right out the pan.
So
Yeah.
I want to not shake it that way. I want to hold it still, and just let that sand stand off. There you go.
Yeah, very neat. That's a lot. That's actually a lot of gold.
It is.
Okay. Not bad. Let's see if I get more.
I'm not. It's not a contest. So, okay. So anyway, there's some there. If somebody wants to use this
But he
pan,
is the best tour guide.
if you want to use this pan to collect some more sand,
Yeah, we
and
know the
there's like gold in there, you'll know that's in there. So
I've known
I'll
them for a
just go
very
like this.
long time. Good friends.
There's more
But
sand.
yes, we as women are very
You want to
competitive.
use those riffles? The gold is in there. It's already settled.
At least I am. When I'm not doing this, I'm grooming dogs and training
You can
them.
find it.
That's part of WOMA.
Have to be. We raise the kids. Think a man could do that? Hell no. Or have one. Let's put it that way.
Go through the chopper.
I don't think so. They'd be crying like a baby. It's bad enough when they have a cold.
Or Saturday can't get in. Oh, there it is. Check it out.
That's how easy it is. See, if you're out, let's say you're out in the river, then I would just take my eyedropper, suck it up, put it in my jar, and keep on going.
Right on.
But real easy. Use it, be smart. Don't work hard.